I'm Skippy Simon, and welcome to the glamorous world of drugs. I'm at work right now, and I have to put stickers on eighths. So I will. Alright, let's do it. This is the glamorous world of drugs. Actually, I'm not really going to talk about drugs. I'm going to talk about what I did last night. Because I had fun. Oh my god, I had fun. I did a couple of things. I went to Dave and Buster's and did karaoke. And afterwards, I went to the Comedy Store and performed in front of an international audience because there's an international crowd in town for the World Cup. So I love playing to international audiences. There used to be a youth hostel in Hollywood on Schrader. My buddy Miguel used to put on a weekly show there, and it was the best just because you could be performing in front of Australian people, Chinese people, Swedish people, and it was a great way to test your comedy in front of an international audience. And that's why I love the fact that, I love people from all over the world. And if I can make them laugh, fuck yeah. But, alright, let's get to this. I have to, like I said, put stickers on 100 eighths that I made. Let's get started. These are eighths. Alright, so here's what I gotta do. In order for these to be put into the system and be legal, they need these stickers. So you take them off two at a time. And you find the seam. And then you just put it right there. See? That is perfection. This is expensive marijuana, just so you know. Me, I don't smoke expensive marijuana, unless it's given to me. I've had numerous gifts from this company, so I don't mind. Don't mind getting gifts, but I want to talk about something I did yesterday, because like I said, I went to I went to the Comedy Store. No, I went to Dave and Buster's first. And it's pretty funny. Like, I'm developing a fan club there. Like, when I get on stage, people cheer for me, and it's like, all right. And it was really great. Last night, I met some guy, and he wants to put me in a movie, but you know what? That's so Hollywood. Everybody wants to do that, so. But it was nice. He thought that my talent on stage really came through. And I appreciate that when people, appreciate the silliness that you can conjure up. And that's what I do. My buddy Emilio, who runs the karaoke, he didn't even know that I was a comedian at the Comedy Store, which was kind of funny. A lot of people don't. It's so weird. This dude I've known for almost 20 years. He didn't know I was at the Comedy Store. But no, I don't really. Whatever. The thing is, it's like, to me, it was just another job. Still is, actually. But yeah, the amount of disrespect I get at the Comedy Store is overwhelming. That's why I really don't like being there. And that's why I go do karaoke instead of hanging out with a bunch of mopes all freaking night. Like, because comedians, honestly, I'm just like, I can't speak for all of them, but a lot of them are very boring people. And I don't know, I just don't like being around comedians. They're just, as I was explaining to the guy who runs this distro I work at, it's like a lot of comedians don't like me, and they have every reason to not like me. And I explained to him why. One, because I am funny. As I explained to that movie producer guy yesterday, I'm a humble individual, but I'm fucking funny. And proved that on stage at the Comedy Store last night, which was great. Like I said, international audiences are fantastic. And there were dudes from Scotland there, and it was pretty rad. But that is not what I want to talk about. I keep going all over the place. But um, anyhow, at Dave and Buster's last night, I was just doing what I normally do. Like my buddy Emilio, he says he loves when I come up there because I bring a fun energy to the stage. And you know what? I proved it last night because there was a dad and his son, and they were having a guys' night out, and I thought that was fantastic. And the father, he was showing me the tattoo that his son picked out for him. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I don't have any tattoos myself, but if I was a dad and like my dad let me pick out his tattoo, that's pretty rad. But he was just, they were having all smiles. They were just, it was like this dude and his son. His son was young, probably no older than 10 years old, maybe 11, 10, who knows, young kid. But I encouraged him to get on stage last night. And I just like, what was it? Yeah, I encouraged him to get on stage last night. Just to try karaoke. I told him, I told his dad, I'm like, listen, he's going to do it once and then he's going to want to do it forever. It's an addiction. Once you do it, it's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. And his name was Mateo. He was a super, super, super nice little dude. And his dad, I was singing Do You Love Me by Kiss. And his dad was like, come on, go up and sing it with him. And I was like, do you mind if I sing? Do you mind if he sings it? I'm like, hell no. And me and Mateo, I don't think he knew the song. I can guarantee you Mateo is probably not a Kiss fan at the age of 9. But if he is, more power to you. I hate Kiss. I love their music. I just hate them as people. But I've seen him a number of times. And I don't know, I met Gene Simmons twice, and he's just a fucking scumbag. Like, just a narcissistic egomaniac who just, I mean, the guy probably jacks off looking at himself in the mirror. But yeah, I met him a couple times. He's a dickbag. But anyhow, me and little dude sang "Do You Love Me" by Kiss, and I told him just have fun, and he did, and it was fantastic, and I loved every second of it. And here's the best part. I told his dad, I was like, he's gonna do it once, and he's gonna want to do it forever. I kid you not. Dude came back up and sang Mr. Brightside by, I don't know who sings Mr. Brightside, but I was dying. I was like, oh my God. I put this kid down the karaoke path. And you know what? I hope to see him again at Dave and Buster's. Because, it's a fun place. That's why I love Dave and Buster's. It's like, yeah, my buddy Emilio yesterday he's like, you're just an adult child. Yeah, I'm just a big kid. I watch my brothers grow up, settle down, get married, have families, buy houses. Yeah. I wanted to be free, you know? That's why I just live life cheap and easy. It's like, I just want to be free. I don't need the hassles. I watch, like, my dad and I watch my brothers just dealing with their spouses and everything. I'm good. That's just, it's a love prison. You know, and as I explained to people, I'm like, why the fuck do you need to be married? Marriage is such an outdated institution. Like, it's so dumb. Like, why are you inviting? Why do I need a legal document to be in love with somebody? What the fuck? Like, why all of a sudden do I need a lawyer to break up with someone? What the fuck, dude? Love should not be legal. Make love illegal. I like illegal love. Yep. I wish I could find me an illegal love. If I find, that's the one thing. There's only like one girl that I like really want. And I told my therapist about her too. And I know I'm not going to give you too much detail about her, but all I know is she likes to karaoke. If I ever see her again, I am going to duet with her. I would love to sing because I started doing karaoke when I was in the military. When I was in my teenage years, when I was in the service, when I was in Korea. I had my wonder years in Korea, and it was spectacular. I didn't drink, smoke, do drugs, or have sex until I joined the military. And, you know, went, drank, smoked, did drugs, had sex. And then I would say Uncle Sam is the uncle that touched me. But yeah, I started doing karaoke when I was in the military. First time was I never went to prom when I was in the States because I was suspended too many times to go to prom. So me and this girl Beth had something called a romp, which if you rearrange the letters of prom, it spells romp. Yeah, her and I, we went to go see AC/DC before I left for the military. She was an absolute sweetheart. Um, but karaoke, uh, that happened at a after prom in Korea. I took this. I was dating this beautiful girl named Anna. She was half Korean, half American, and just the most stunningly gorgeous woman. Like, she had these, like, you know, like she had the best attributes of both sides of her family. Like, she just had the beautiful Korean genetics and beautiful, you know, American white guy genetics. And yeah, she just, her eyes just biggest, most beautiful eyes you've ever seen in your life, and her lips were just so full and gorgeous. And this girl, she had the metabolism of a fucking cheetah. Like, it was insane. Like, I would go over to her house. Her dad was a lieutenant colonel, and I was enlisted. They all knew. But anyway, I would go over to her house, and she would eat. We'd watch a movie. She would eat a full pizza and 2 bags of chips and 2 big things of soda by herself. She was skinny as a rail. All this girl did was eat and shit. She was just skinniest girl, but she was just so beautiful. But when we went to after prom, she was miserable. Oh my god. She was on her period and something else. She had like a surgery or something, I forget, but she was miserable. And so I ended up, me and my friend Jen, at after prom, because I was only what, 19, and everybody else was what, 18, so not much age difference. So my friend Jen and I, we sang Love Shack by the B-52s, because I can do a stellar Fred Schneider impression. Hurry up and bring your jukebox money. And that is what won us. We won $100 doing a karaoke together at after prom. We won the competition, and then I did. There's this old band called Led Zeppelin, and they're a Led Zeppelin cover band that does Led Zeppelin and reggae, and their lead singer is an Elvis impersonator. And they're just a fun ass band. And matter of fact, I gotta talk about this openly. Clownvis Presley, you know who you are. I know you're not watching this. If this ever gets back to you, you have my Dred Zeppelin picture disc. I hope it's in good condition. I hope you're listening to it because I haven't listened to it in a long time. But yeah, my buddy Clownvis has my picture disc. But it's okay. I love Clownvis. Um, but karaoke. Yeah, I started doing it in the military, and I sang Dred Zeppelin. I sang Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, but I did it like Elvis because the lead singer Dred Zeppelin was an Elvis impersonator. So I was like, hey, hey, mama, say the way you move, gonna make it smack, gonna make it groove. And I killed it, and I won $100 doing karaoke. It was the first time I won karaoke competitions, and I had won numerous karaoke competitions just because, I don't know. I just have fun. That's it. I just like having fun. I go up there, I have fun. If I win, cool. If I don't, cool. I came there to have fun. If I had fun, then I won. That's what matters to me most. Like, I'll give you a great example. There was this girl I used to hang out with, and we used to go do karaoke. And one night we were supposed to go to Magic Mountain. They were closed for something, repairs or something. So we ended up going to this. Later on, we went up to this karaoke bar in Simi Valley, and I sang Just a Gigolo by David Lee Roth with a cordless microphone. And it was one of the most epic nights of karaoke ever. I got a standing ovation at a karaoke bar. Like, I owned it. Like, matter of fact, I'm going to go do that next week at Dave & Buster's. I'm going to go do Just a Gigolo. I haven't done that in years. It's time that I did. But I turned that place upside down. I mean, they were just cracking up. I had a cordless microphone, so I was running outside, running into the smoking section. I was giving all these old women lap dances. I was just owning the moment. And it was absolutely freaking awesome. And yeah, that to me means more than, getting a trophy. Like, if I can get a standing ovation on a Tuesday, fuck yeah. Like, I was explaining to the one dude, the movie producer guy who came up to me yesterday at Dave & Buster's. I was explaining to him, like, how I feel about the Comedy Store, which is, like, I kind of feel like, I defeated it. Before I got kicked out in 2007, I did something that not a lot of people are capable of doing in such a difficult room, because I hate to say this to you, but the original room at the Comedy Store is a very, very tough room to do comedy in, just because there's a lot of high expectation. You're at the world famous Comedy Store. But there was one incredible night right before I got kicked out where I just connected and annihilated, and it was epic. And afterwards, people stood up, cheered for me, took me outside, took my picture, and it felt great. But at the same time, it's like it felt like I got my diploma from the Comedy Store. And I got a standing ovation at the Laugh Factory. And it was like, okay, well, I won here too. And the improv I just don't care about. I don't know. I've never been attracted to the improv. It seems like that's the hack shack. It's where all the weenie whistles go to suck up to people, and I'm not a weenie whistle or a suck up, so yeah, it's one of my biggest problems in the entertainment industry is I don't suck up to people, and I forget everybody's name. That's another one of my biggest problems. I can associate that to just maybe smoking a bunch of weed. Who knows? I'm not good with that. I'm not good with remembering names. But I do remember one name, and his name is Mateo. And last night, That kid went up there, and you can tell he was scared at first doing karaoke, but I coached him through it, and his dad fucking loved it. His dad, I'm hoping so bad. I'm hoping so bad this becomes a regular thing. I'm hoping so bad that kid comes up and just rocks the mic. I'm hoping so bad that kid picks up a guitar and becomes a rock star. I don't know. He was just epic little dude, and his dad kicked ass. And I don't know. I just, like I said, last night was just triumphant. It was just spectacular. I don't know, but there's I forget which book it is. I don't know if it's We Got the Neutron Bomb or Secret. I forget. There's a punk rock book about Los Angeles, and I read it. And there was one line in there that like rings out louder than any other line in the book because I've been living it for 25 fucking years. You know, the entertainment industry is a cruel fucking bitch, and I have not been treated well by her. And that's okay. I still, keep my chin up. Someday is gonna be my turn. Someday the spotlight will shine on me. Whatever. But there was this line out of the book, and it was about the band X, one of the members. I can't remember which one, but they were like, yeah, and he was like, yeah, we sold out the Greek Theater. Like that's, we sold out the Greek Theater, talking about the band X. It's like, yeah, we sold it out. It's like, wow, we did something incredible. And then on the walk home, stop at the Winchells on Vine Street, which is close to where I live. And he goes, yeah, we sold out the Greek Theater, and I only have enough money to get a donut. Yeah. Hey, man. At least you got a donut. And you got a great memory. That to me is like what life's all about. I got the cool stories. They're fun to talk about, That's all life should be about. Just adventure and have fun. Have some cool stories. If you're gonna sit there and tell people you've been an accountant for 16 years, that's not a cool story. Me, I can't keep a job. I'm lucky to just have this one right now. I'm probably not gonna be here much longer because of my heart surgery, but who cares? Like I said, I live cheap and easy, man. My therapist asked me, she's like, what makes you happy? And I'm like, squirrels, birds, life, outside, small things. That's just it. I don't need a Lamborghini to be happy. Nobody does. All you need is just get high and go for a walk. Drink some water. But I'm not going to tell anybody how to live. If you need a Lamborghini, go for it. I don't. I got one car's bad enough. Like I said, I'm trying to just not have any responsibilities. That's why I'm never getting married, never having kids. Can't wait to never do any of that shit. But in the meantime, I just wanted to share that, it felt great it felt absolutely fantastic to help this little dude just get on stage and try karaoke. It felt fantastic, and I hope to see him and his dad up there every Monday. I'm hoping he's telling all of his friends about it. I'm hoping he's practicing. I'm hoping he's doing like I do and like finding a song that you like and then rehearsing it and then just going up there and rocking it. Because karaoke is nothing but fun. I tell young comedians all the time, like, if you want to build stage presence, go do karaoke. Go do karaoke. I mean, it's better than an open mic. It's way more fun. You're going to get up way more times. And you're just going to do nothing but build stage presence. It's like, I had a young comedian ask me about, how I'm so comfortable on stage. It's like the one movie producer guy yesterday. He's like, you're just so naturally, like he was like, you're just so, natural on stage. I'm like, yeah, it's where I'm supposed to be. It's just fun. Like being right here talking to you and being up there doing that. Same thing, just a different location. He said I was a real person. He's not wrong. I am. That's the one thing I hate about Los Angeles is just being a real person in a fake, town full of phonies. I was telling him when my headshot was up at the Comedy Store, which is my mugshot photo. He was asking me about my headshots, and I told him about my mugshot photo. And I said it was up at the Comedy Store, and it was kind of crazy because mine was the only real photo. Everything else is somebody, posers. But I love my mugshot photo. That is the best picture ever taken of me. My mom hates it. I don't care. I think it's the best picture, and I want to thank my buddy Bob, who's no longer with us, for getting that for Christmas for me, because he was a cop. And me and him grew up straight edge skinheads together, and then when I got out of the military, we did a bunch of acid, sold a bunch of acid, had a blast. And he was my best friend, and unfortunately he took his life. It happens. The only guarantee you got in life is death. That's about it. But I say, hey, if you're gonna kill yourself, don't. Tomorrow's a new day. Go have fun. That's how my therapist is like, how do you deal with your depression? Like I said, feed squirrels. You don't need. I know so many miserable millionaires. When I worked in the fireworks industry, I knew so many miserable millionaires. These guys, they work 6 months out of the year. Most miserable millionaires ever meet in your life. They work 6 months. They work 3 months around the 4th of July. Then they spend 3 months gambling it all away. Then they spend 3 months around New Year's. Then they spend 3 months gambling it all away. Miserable people. I never realized, like, you're selling fucking fireworks. You're selling sky candy and you're depressed? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, money does not buy happiness. Even though David Lee Roth says money may not buy happiness, but it can buy a yacht big enough to pull alongside it. But I don't know. I've been broke as shit my whole adult life, and I want to say I've had the most fun that a human can have without a fucking dollar. Like, I got into Playboy Mansion for free just by being me. I've traveled around the world for free just by being me, being in bands, doing comedy. And I want to keep doing that. I think that's why I said it's like, do you think I want to do this? I put myself here, by the way. Okay? And it was because I hated the entertainment industry so fucking much. Now, that is why I'm here, but now I'm just realizing, you know what? It's the reason I moved out here to California in the first place. I want to do comedy. I want to travel. I want to have fun. Yeah. I need to get over my agoraphobia. I do have a fear of crowds. I do have a fear of being famous. I do have a fear of success, but I gotta stop that shit. Because getting paid $20 under the table to put stickers on eighths is just not the glamorous life that I should be living. I should be in somewhere in America trying out a new small restaurant that everyone's been talking about, or a new food truck or something. I just need to get out of here. And also, there's another thing I want to do too. I do not want to be viewed as a loser by my nephew. It's bad enough I look at myself as not being where I should be. And I don't want to be here much longer. I'm the only person who can change that. I've been dealing with a heart condition for 8 years, and that's no longer an excuse. I've been forcing myself out. I got to, you know. I want to take down the Rogan sphere, as I told everybody on stage at the Comedy Store. I have no qualms about that. Joe Rogan and his friends have ruined comedy. I will gladly give you proof if you need it. All you gotta do is go, hey, in succession, Gringo Poppy. Okay, number one, that's a Rogan. Then Joe Rogan himself with Burn the Boats. That was a spectacular failure. He shouldn't have called that Burn the Boats. He should have called that Viking Funeral, because that's exactly what that was. It was just watching a pyre just on flame. It was the biggest pile of shit. Dude's not funny, never has been. I had to work with him at the Comedy Store for a long time, and he's not funny. He's just a fucking jock with a Napoleonic complex. So we got Gringo Poppy, we got Joe Rogan and his Burn the Boats, and then we had Brian Callen. Man, it's really sad because, like, I used to like that guy, but man, he just washed the fuck up, man. Like, did when you moved to Austin, what happened? Everybody moved to Austin and just fucking sucked, and then the icing on the cake, fucking Tony Hinchcliffe, man. You know, what's weird is I have Tony's phone number. I've known Tony for years. If you're gonna say you're a product of the Comedy Store, please do me a favor. Fucking represent, bring your A game, show and prove. That's special, dude. Even you know it sucked, but whatever. All I know is I'm here to take down the Rogans here, because if there's one thing I learned, is that Rogan does not know what comedy is, no matter how much he names his bar fucking Mitzi's after Mitzi Shore. He doesn't know anything about comedy. He's not funny. Joe Rogan is not funny. He's an angry, dumb little fucking jock. He's just an insecure little bitch. But, so, you know, I'm just saying, we can do a lot better. If you think that Austin is the comedy epicenter, you're fucking wrong. The comedy epicenter is this place called the internet. And as I found out, all I gotta do is post my jokes online. And that is the best comedy club. Any young comedian watching, you should just film yourself and then just put it online. Throw shit against the wall. There's a dude named Russell Peters. Okay, I've known Russell for years. Russell got famous because somebody recorded him and threw it on the internet. And that's how his fame broke. I've seen it happen. It can happen again. Hopefully with me. You know, but it's just, you don't need the clubs as much as you do anymore. Like, I just go to the Comedy Store and I record myself doing some new jokes, and then I chop it up, put it on the internet with a funny title, and boom, next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. But, no, also what I really enjoy is the amount of, like, I heard a term, anti-fan. I really like that term, because I'm an anti-hero. So anti-fan makes sense. It's all these people who give you attention and tell you how much they hate you and just how much they think you suck. Constantly. And I don't know, they just keep doing it out of whatever reason. But I love you anti-fans. I love my fans. I love my anti-fans. Because I have people just This one guy, I was talking shit about Tony on the internet. My God, this one guy, he just defended Tony up and down, and I was like, wow, we found Tony's gay boyfriend. But I don't know. I don't. To me, I know Tony's not gay because I hooked him up with a girl in Arizona one time. I totally wingmaned him. Because here's the thing. I I get girls. I don't mind getting girls for other dudes. I remember I was dating this body jewelry model at the Comedy Store one time, and this one comedian, my buddy John, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey Skip, is that your girlfriend?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do you mind if I ask her?" I'm like, "Go for it." I'm not territorial when it comes to women. Women are their own. Like I was discussing with my buddy who runs this distro. We were talking about how like toxic masculinity ain't gonna get you girls. It's gonna get you dudes. Cause man, I'll tell you what. I was telling him why comedians hate me, and it's very true. Comedians hate me, one, because I'm fucking funny. Two, because the owner of the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore, fucking loved me, had me on stage 7 nights a week, and I wasn't even a fucking celebrity. And the third thing was the biggest one. Uh, I always got girls. Girls like me. I like them. Toxic masculinity ain't gonna get you girls, bro. It's gonna get you dudes. Yeah. All you're trying to do when you're a toxic male is impress other dudes. Gay. Don't be gay. And I'm not knocking gay people gay. I'm talking about you guys. Toxic males. Stop it. You're never gonna get what you want if you act like that. Get a sense of humor. Get a sense of humor. And don't listen to Joe Rogan. As soon as I found out that like Joe Rogan's podcast, if you tell a girl you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, her vagina will dry up. I thought that was one of the funniest things I ever heard. Because Joe Rogan, I stole Jenna Jameson away from Joe Rogan one night, and it was epic. It was on 4th of July 2004. I got paid $100 to make out with Jenna Jameson, the porn star, because she didn't like Joe Rogan, and her financier was like, "Yeah, let's fuck with Rogan. I'll give you $100 if you make out with Jenna all night." I was like, "All right," and I made out with Jenna Jameson. I don't know. I've dated a lot of porn stars and everything. I'm not trying to brag. They're just good people, and they like to have sex, and they're clean. That's one thing I adored about porn stars is they have to get tested every month. I'm myself. I don't have any STDs or anything. I always wear condoms. I'm very protected. I do not. There's two things I don't want, and that's an STD or a kid, and both are prevented by condoms. Matter of fact, if you think about it, STDs, okay? If you think about it, kids and AIDS, okay, are spelled the same, just one letter of difference. Both will kill you if you live with them long enough. I don't want no kids, don't want no AIDS. Wrap that rascal. But, yeah, I like dating porn stars just because they're nice people. They're fun. They're energetic. They like to laugh. And, I'm gonna let you know, okay, you do not get attached to sex workers. Their job is sex. Okay? I know dudes who are married to porn stars, but to be honest, the reason why they're married is because their partner is an investment. That's why. Because I remember one time, this one porn star, we were out in Vegas with the Naughty Show, and she had to call her husband to make sure it was okay to have sex with me. And it was okay. Yeah, that was a fun fucking night. I don't know. Wearing a bunny suit will get you so many girls. That's all I gotta say. I used to wear a bunny suit in the Naughty Show, and I used to get tons and tons of girls. It was epic, but whatever. I'm not trying to brag. But I will brag about this. Karaoke will get you girls, and karaoke is awesome, and you should do karaoke. And I'm so glad that I helped that little dude do karaoke last night, and he was so freaking happy. And you know, I feel good. I enjoy bringing happiness to the world. There's so many miserable people out there that get like their jollies from making other people miserable. I am so not one of those people. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy I turned out the way I did. But anyhow, I gotta get back to work. I'm almost done. Then I gotta make 100 more. We're gonna make another 100 aces. Lucky me. Like I said, I need to get out of here. I need to be the rock star I was always meant to be. I need to start. That's what I need to do is just start touring with bands because I don't like comedians. I do not enjoy hanging out with them. I've spent 25 years trying to be friends with comedians and I can't do it. So I'm gonna go on tour with bands. I think that because I told my friends in the band Brolo that I'm coming out and I want to open for them in December. So we'll see what happens. I also got to start lighting myself on fire. Yeah, that's going to be happening soon. So, because I got 4 more weeks before I go in the hospital, and I just want to make the most of it. So I'm going to be at karaoke every week. I'm going to be at the Comedy Store every week, every Monday. That's my agenda. If you want to find me and take me out, I'm at Dave and Buster's from about 9 p.m. to 11:30, and then I'm at the Comedy Store from midnight on until I get kicked out. So, yeah, if you come to see me at the Comedy Store, don't pay. Do not pay. I hate making that place money. I've made that place so much money and I've been so exploited by that fucking establishment. Fuck that place. I'm just gonna use it for making jokes. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. Yep, this is the glamorous world of drugs. Hey, thanks for watching. We learned a lot today. And yeah, I just wanted to also just do this on my camera and see about making videos. You know, just upload it to YouTube and whatever and see what happens. And who cares? Hey, I'm Skippy Simon. Stay awesome. I'm out of here. Bye.